guys, and welcome to another video. Today I thought it would be fun to just sit down and chat a little about some of my recent favorites. I love watching other people's monthly favorite videos and I have never done one of these, but I was thinking about it and I have so many categories that would be fun to chat about. Like, of course, the standard like books, music, movies, like products I bought and loved. But I thought it could also include like people or like social media accounts that have been inspiring me lately, or like an art piece that I've been really loving. Like, I cannot include every category in every video, but if I make this a returning thing, like maybe I could just share, I don't know, stuff like that every now and then. And I think that would be really fun. So let me know what you think of that. Right now it's a little bit like in the middle of 2 months. It's like in between May and June, so it's not going to be like a monthly favorite. So I thought I would just call it spring favorites. But if you guys like this concept, I can definitely make it a monthly thing, or I can keep it seasonal. Let me know. But today I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I really enjoyed lately. Also, if I sound a little bit hoarse, like more hoarse than usual, I've been battling such a bad cold the past week. I couldn't film anything for days because I was just sick in bed. And finally, like, the worst is over, but I'm sort of like clogged inside. I can really feel it when I'm talking. So I'm sorry if you can hear that a little bit. I hope it's not too bad. Let's start with the best category, obviously, books. This spring has really been for me the discovery of literary fiction series. I feel like it's not a very common thing to have series of literary fiction. But this spring I read 2, which is more than ever before, so I felt like it was a theme this spring. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you already know what series I'm going to talk about because I have not been able to shut up about it. This series and this author has quickly become one of my favorites of all time. I am so mind blown with the writing, and I'm talking about My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, or the series is called the Neapolitan Quartet. But the first book is My Brilliant Friend, which I also feel like is the most well-known. I have all 4 books and I'm currently about to finish up the 3rd one, so I can finish up the series with the 4th book after this. And I'm definitely going to go straight into that one because I am obsessed. I have no words. I have to find words because I'm talking about the series, but I have no words for how good the writing in the series is and how addictive. It's like hypnotizing. Like, these books are not short. Most of them are over 400 pages, but never in my life have I flown through a book so quickly, just because the writing just pulls you in and makes you want to keep going and going. And not that much happens. It's just a slice of life kind of series, but somehow something in the writing managed to keep you engaged from the very beginning to the end. So what is the series about? This book is written from the perspective of Elena, and you meet her as a young girl as she grows up in a poor neighborhood in Napoli in the 50s. And in her elementary school, she meets another girl from the neighborhood, Elena, and she quickly becomes obsessed with this girl. They become friends, but they also develop a very complex bond where they see each other as competition, and they sort of mirror each other in their search for independence and identity as a young girl in this time and place, because the girls here don't have a lot of opportunity. They're very poor. They have to start working young. Then they find a husband. They become a housewife. That is sort of like the steps they would go through. But these girls are both very intelligent, and their teacher sees this and wants better for them. So she motivates them to, keep studying, keep educating themselves. And this sends the 2 girls into 2 very different futures. One of them keeps studying. The other one starts working very young. And you can follow throughout the books what consequences that has for their lives and also for their friendship, because they stay friends. They keep this very complex bond between them for the rest of their lives. That is what the series is about. But as time goes on and their lives become more and more different, this friendship between them has more and more challenges as well. And that in itself is a very interesting plot and premise, but it's the writing that really makes it what it is. Elena Ferrante's writing is so honest and unflinching, and it touches upon these parts that we would rather look away from, also parts within ourselves. Like the way she writes about girlhood and friendship and all the complicated feelings we have as girls. Like, we can love our friends, but we can also be jealous of them, envy them for what they have and we don't. Constantly comparing ourselves, secretly wanting the admiration and attention of guys, but also hating ourselves for wanting that. All those complicated feelings that come with growing up. they're in this book, and they're just done so well. Like, I cannot praise these books enough. And then the other series that suddenly got very popular, I think you've probably seen it around on social media, it's On the Calculation of Volume by Solvej Balle. It's a Danish author, and it's translated by Barbara Haveland. And I've only read the first book in the series so far. I wanted to get the second one, but somehow it said it could only be delivered in December, which is strange because it's like available everywhere, and I haven't found it in a bookstore yet, so I have to search a little bit harder to get it from somewhere, because I definitely want to continue with this series, because this was so good and intriguing and different from everything else I've ever read. This is about Tara, and together with her husband, she's a dealer of antique books. On the 18th of November, she goes to Paris for a antique book auction, I think. And everything goes well, and then the next day she wakes up and she realizes something is off, because everything is happening in the same exact way as the day before. And she soon figures out that it's actually the 18th of November again. So obviously she freaks out a little. She calls her husband and he's like, no, it's like the first time of the 18th of November. And she's like, no, I already had this day yesterday. And he believes her, tells her to come home. She goes home. And there she has to deal with the fact that she's stuck in this day, because it doesn't just happen once, it happens over and over and over again. And you meet her actually at like one of the 120th day that she's stuck on the 18th of November, I think. And this is not a plot heavy book. If you expect something like adventurous, sci-fi like, that's not what this book is at all. It's more like a literary exploration of what it means to become insignificant to the progress of the world. Like, you're very much in Tara's head the whole time, just trying to deal with the feelings of being stuck in this day, doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's very repetitive, like obviously it's a very repetitive book, but somehow it was so addicting to me. It kept my attention so well because of the writing. The writing was absolutely beautiful. I underlined so many things, but also because you are curious what's going to happen. Like, the whole book, you are very curious, like, how this is going to play out. What is Tara going to do to, try to fix this situation? That's like the question you walk around with the whole time. And one of the things that hit me the most was how claustrophobic this book was. Like, it actually made me feel a little bit panicky sometimes, because you're not enclosed in a small space in this book. You're enclosed in like a chunk of time. Like, you cannot get out of this chunk of time. And I was surprised like how much that freaked me out, and that's a testament to how well the writing in this book is, because I really felt I was stuck in this day with the protagonist. So that was super interesting. I think there's also a lot of beautiful observations about love, because like her husband is a very big part of her life. They work together, they live together, but now she's stuck in this chunk of time and he is not. And like every day, like he wakes anew on the 18th of November. He has no memory of the previous 18th of November as well. She does. So that also makes for a very interesting dynamic, and just a lot of like sadness and heartbreak. And there's just so many things packed in this tiny little book that I loved, and I really want to continue the series. So I hope I can have the second book soon. It's actually a 7-book series, which again intimidates me a little bit, especially because of how repetitive it can be. And I'm like, can I handle 7 books of that? But on the other hand, I think I can, because the writing is just so delicious and beautiful. So I'm definitely going to keep going, and if you have read the second book, please tell me your thoughts. I think only so far the first and second book have been translated. I think the third one is coming soon, so I have no rush. I will just slowly continue, because I have to wait for all the other books to be translated anyway. But yeah, this was just so different and such a unique take on like the time loop thing. And yeah, I've just been loving literary series this spring. It really was a recurring theme. If you know of any other literary series, let me know. I feel like I don't know a lot, but so far, like, they've been good. So maybe there's more that I have been missing that I absolutely need to know about. So let me know. And let's move on to the next category. I actually made a list, I forgot. Yeah, let's do music. First, some coffee. I never really talked about it on YouTube, but I love music. I love making hyper-specific playlists and like discovering new songs that capture the perfect mood I'm looking for. It's one of my like weird hobbies. So yeah, it's fun to finally talk about some music on here as well. And I thought if I keep this category in here, I would just talk about some of the songs I've been playing on repeat lately, or like some new artists that I found that I really enjoyed. And for me, the theme of the music the past few weeks has really been the songs that came out of Eurovision. Like obviously we do not support Eurovision here, but I did check up on the songs that came out of it, and this year had some gems, not gonna lie. Like every year there's actually some gems, but I feel like the good songs that you want to keep listening to after Eurovision never get attention in the shows because they're simply too good and understated. And I was very happy to see that one of my favorites from the list actually became very like popular on social media. I hear it a lot now, and that is Deslocado by Napa. They were the Portuguese contestants, and the song is about like feeling misplaced in the place you live in, like in the bustling city, feeling life pass you by and feeling like nostalgia and melancholia for the place you grew up in, wanting to go back home but not really knowing where home is anymore. And I could heavily relate to that since I moved from the Netherlands to Italy last year. So there's always some feeling there where you're like, my old home is not really my home anymore. This new place is not my home yet. And I think the song captures that emotion beautifully. And also it's just like a summer hit. Like it flows so nicely. I love that song. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, yes, this is gonna be a favorite. And the other song I absolutely loved, and no one is talking about that one, is Voyage by Zoe May. She is from Switzerland, and that song is so hauntingly beautiful. Her voice is so fragile, so like breakable, and yeah, I think it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. I don't know why no one is talking about this song. I put it in so many playlists, it's making me feel so many things, but absolutely go listen to that. It's stunning. And next to that I discovered a new artist, like a duo actually, and funnily enough it has some ties to Eurovision, but I did not know that beforehand. But I've been following these two girls on social media for the longest time because their whole vibe is just so cool. They're so gorgeous, they have such interesting style, and they're artists in every sense of the word. And only later I discovered that one of the girls is actually the girlfriend of a contestant of Eurovision of this year, the one from Australia. So that was like a world colliding moment. But these two girls, they're twins actually, I think. They have a duo called Shirley. Like I feel like my English pronunciation is messing this up. I'll put it in the screen. It's actually two different words, even though they sound the same. Maybe that was the point. I don't know. But they have some really beautiful, melancholic, like light indie folk songs, and I have been loving it. Their most recent EP was Sailors and Clowns, and they have a song on there called Take What You Will, which is my favorite by far. So first go listen to that one. It's like a lullaby almost. It just like rocks me to sleep into a beautiful daydream. That's like the best way I can describe their music. It's very dreamy, it's very melancholical. It's not sad, I wouldn't say it's sad. It just has like a lot of nice swing rhythms. And it's like perfect summer music. I feel like it gives me a little bit like carnival vibes, but like after the carnival has left, you know? That is a good description, I think, also because of the title of the album, Sailors and Clowns. Beautiful album, and just them as a duo, them as artists, also so cool. So definitely check out their socials. I will put it somewhere on the screen as well. They're so cool. I'm both intimidated and inspired by them. So next category, let's talk about food. What have I been eating and loving lately? And let me tell you, I have become so obsessed with egg fried rice. I have actually never had it before. Like I didn't really grow up with a lot of Asian cuisine in my life. And in the Netherlands, if there is Asian cuisine, it's usually not really Asian. It's like a Dutch adapted version of it. So I'm not very familiar with Asian dishes, but I have been obsessed lately, and I came across this recipe for egg fried rice, and I think I adapted it a little bit to whatever I had in the kitchen at the time. So it's probably not the actual right way to make it, but I have become obsessed, and my boyfriend as well. Like we've been making this like maybe twice a week for a while. And it's so addicting. Like I can just eat like a pile of this like egg fried rice. It's so good. So I filmed a few clips to show you how I make it, but please like look up the proper recipe for egg fried rice. There's like many better ones if you want to make it like the proper way. This is just how I started making it because I feel like it worked the best for what I wanted to achieve. And it's so good. You can serve it with some like veggies, with some salmon, with some meat, like whatever you prefer, and it goes with so many things. And guys, it's such a good dish. It's also a very good dish to like store and like bring somewhere for a picnic, because even cold it's amazing. So yeah, egg fried rice. Egg fried rice was the food of this spring for me. Category I have socials, because I thought it would be fun to include like some people that have been inspiring me online. Like I get so much inspiration from other creators, and I think that's worth sharing. Like if I find a new creator that has been inspiring me a lot, I want to like spread the word. So I think this category is going to be a fun one. And also just talking about socials in general, I have discovered Substack. I was not on Substack before. I just read like an article every now and then if it got shared on social media. But I recently started writing on Substack as well, because as you know from my vlogs, I've been very stuck with my book. I have just been so frustrated, but I did have a lot of like creative energy and inspiration lately. So just to keep writing and just to keep the inspiration and like sort of rekindle my love for words and writing, I started posting stuff on Substack. I reworked some old essays I still had in my drafts. I started writing poetry, which is very scary to me. Like it's so personal and intimidating, and I'm always scared that my poems are cringy. Like it's kind of hard to tell yourself if a poem is good or not, but it seems like people are loving them, so that's very exciting. So I have been really loving Substack. I don't like scrolling through the feed because it's just like another version of Twitter. People are like sharing their unpopular opinions or like begging for people to read their stuff. But yeah, if you have any great writers on Substack, like I want to find the gems, you know, like not the same cultural essay over and over again, but like people that write personal stuff or like poetry. That's what I want to use Substack for, and also just to explore my own voice in like a safe way, like an easy space to do that. I've been having so much fun on there. I will link my Substack below if you want to check it out. And now on to some creators that have been inspiring me. First of all, Laila. She is a fellow Dutchie. I think she lives in Rotterdam as well, actually. And I've been following her for quite a while now. I think I first found her on TikTok. But I'm mostly loving her Instagram now because of the still photos. And her aesthetic is so dreamy. Like I feel like if Miss Honey from Matilda had an Instagram, it would be Laila. It is so gorgeous. The way she decorates her house, the way she sets a table, the way her clothes look on a clothing rack, like everything is gorgeous. And like don't underestimate the talent it takes to curate your surroundings like that and curate your photos like that. It is like you're like an art director. You set the stage, you take the you're like an art director basically. You set the stage, you curate the stuff, you create the atmosphere, you take the photos, you share the content, and she does it so well. Like every time I just see anything by her, I'm like, oh my god, I need to go to the thrift store right now, get more trinkets. I need to throw a beautiful Sunday brunch for my friends. Like that is what goes through my head every time. So yeah, if you want to get some interior design inspiration, but also honestly just like life and fashion, for like maximalist but still soft and girly and pastel and beautiful, she's your girl. I've been loving it. And another creator I'm absolutely obsessed with lately is Moya Mawini. Is that how you pronounce her name? As always, I'll show the name on the screen. Like she's not an underrated find. Like she is known. She has a lot of followers. I'm sure maybe everyone watching probably already knows her. She's been living off being a creator for quite a while, I think. But I only discovered her this year, and oh my god, her summer vlogs are some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Like think Call Me By Your Name, if it was like sort of a home movie. Just the way she captures the essence of a slow summer, almost like the childhood summers, just the playfulness by the sea, the slow dinners, the warmth, journaling, reading, and just the beauty of a summer. It's all in there in her vlogs. Like, if you feel down, just binge watch all of her summer vlogs. Like, I've been binge watching her videos from like 3-4 years ago because they're just so stunning and they made me feel so peaceful inside. They also made me feel a little bit of FOMO, I'm not gonna lie, because she has seen so many places. She traveled around so much in her 20s. She's quite young still, I think. And she just had like so many beautiful like trips with her friends, like the girl groups, this single girl in her 20s kind of life. And it made me feel a little bit like I was behind. I was like, what have I been doing in my 20s? I'm already 28. Now I'm settling like down with my boyfriends. Did I not go hard enough when I was like a single girl just chilling with my friends in my 20s? That's kind of like also the feeling I got from her. But you know, that's something that I need to sort out. But outside of that, her vlogs are some of the most beautiful pieces of art I have ever seen. So I highly recommend just sitting down with a drink and binge watching some of them. They're so stunning. My favorite ones are the ones where she lived in Florence for 2 months to do like an art course for 2 months. Amazing. So let's move on to beauty and fashion. I think this is going to be like an overarching category, like personal care products, beauty, hair, fashion, because I am someone who doesn't buy a lot of beauty products or perfumes or skincare products. I just have my favorites that I swear by and I use them over and over and over again. They look terrible, like they have been through it because I just carry them everywhere. So I don't think this category will be around a lot, but if I have something that I want to share, I will. And today I do, because I have a perfume that I need to talk about. It's Olene by Diptique. And like, this is also not an unknown brand. Obviously everyone who loves perfume a little bit knows about this. But I just wanted to talk about this because it feels like the perfect moment to do so. This perfume smells exactly like jasmine. And right now jasmine is in bloom everywhere here in Italy. Everywhere you walk on the street, you smell the jasmine. It's so amazing. It's one of my favorite smells in the world. It's the smell of summer for me. And this one smells exactly the same. Like, I already thought so. Now I tested it. I took a jasmine flower home, compared them side by side. Exactly the same. I don't know how they managed to capture it so well, but it's absolutely perfect. So if you're like me, if jasmine is like the start of summer for you, the smell of jasmine, then you need this perfume. Like, you can just envelop yourself in this smell all day long, which I personally think is amazing. My mom hates this perfume. She says I smell like a grandma when I wear it, but I'm like, how? I smell like exactly like a jasmine plant when I wear this. Like, what is grandma about that? I don't know, I don't care. I love this. I don't care if other people think it smells bad. This is amazing. It captures summer in a bottle for me. And right now I'm on the lookout for a good peach perfume, because I feel like peach is the other smell that captures the essence of summer for me. Like, a good peach smell, yes. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. And now let's move on to random buys. I already showed it in my vlog, but I have to talk about it here again. My gorgeous Paper Republic Grand Voyageur journal. This was not technically a buy because they sent it to me, but I would have bought it myself 100% if they hadn't. Look at her, she's stunning. And I haven't written a lot in it yet. I just wrote a book review on Elena Ferrante, The Story of a New Name, because my other journal is not full yet. My Leuchtturm, it's almost full. I'm like trying to write so much in it so I can put that one on the shelf and start in this one, because I want to start with this one so bad. And I also ordered some refills. I ordered 2 more notebooks because I want this to be chunky. I want it to be big. And I think what I will do when I have those is keep one for like media reviews, because for what I do on social media, it's quite useful to share my thoughts on everything in one place, especially maybe for these type of videos. One will be my journal, and then I will do one for like practical things like content ideas, to-do lists, stuff like that. And then maybe for one, I will try to have a commonplace journal. I've been obsessed with watching videos about people's commonplace journals. They just fascinate me so much. And I think as a writer, it would be very useful for me to collect all the information I come across in like a day in one place, like quotes, inspiring thoughts, interesting facts, conversations I overhear. Like, collecting all of those in one place sounds very useful. So I think I'm gonna try to start doing that. I cannot wait for the refills to get here, but yeah, she's an absolute stunner. Also, The smell, so good. Like, I love the smell of fresh leather. So yeah, I haven't used it a lot since my previous video because I've been carrying my old journal around still, but trust me that I will. And I wanted to talk about it again because I'm so proud of her. She's gorgeous. And the last thing I would love to talk about is something I've already mentioned before and also share on my socials a lot, just because it's so photogenic. Is that the word? Photogenic? And it's the Le Petit Trois newspaper. I'm sorry for butchering how I pronounce that. My French is not good, but this is one of the greatest joys of my month. I've said it so many times before. The maker of this newspaper reached out to me almost 2 years ago now, I think, that she started this newspaper and if I wanted a copy just to try it out. And that was a good move from her because I have become her biggest ambassador. I feel like I talk about this so much, but it's amazing. Just going back to analog media and like paper. I love holding something that's like actual paper. It's been great. So this is a newspaper that comes out monthly. This is not a newspaper in the sense that it shares like news, but it's more like a monthly magazine talking about art, esoteria, philosophy, history, and just almost like occult stuff a little bit as well, like witchy stuff, living with the seasons, our connection to nature. It talks a lot about symbolism, rituals for our daily lives. Like the May issue was all about scents and like what they mean for us in our daily lives and their meanings and how we can, you know, be more intentional with the scents in our lives. And I actually haven't read the June issue yet, but it's, in terms of art, it's one of my favorite editions so far. Like, this is so summer. I absolutely love it. And like I said, this is such a nice moment to take in your day to just engage offline with media, read some long form articles, and just bask in the beauty of it, because it's not only stunning on the outside, it's also absolutely stunning on the inside. Like, just the art pieces picked out for the layout, like, I cannot praise this enough. It's every time this arrives in my mailbox, I just feel so put together. Like, I have my little newspaper to read during breakfast. Like, how fun is that? I think it also sends worldwide, so if this is something you would think you would enjoy, I highly recommend it. I think it's so fun, it's so beautiful, and I actually learned a lot from some of the articles. So, like, win-win. This is such a thought daughter thing. We're educating ourselves with this. So that was everything that I wanted to share in my spring favorites. I really enjoyed making this, so let me know if you did as well. I can make it either a monthly or a seasonal thing. I can also talk about podcasts and movies. I can just rotate a few categories, just whatever stood out to me in that month. But I think as a rule, I will share my recent favorite reads every month if I bring this back. So then I won't do like a recent reads video, but like a general favorites video. So I can just talk about a little bit more than just books, because that's fun. But let me know what you think of that. But thank you for watching this one. I will link everything I talked about as far as I can down below. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!